Now, the Congress march to Jammu Kashmir Secretariat in Srinagar is taking a very violent turn. Youths have started pelting stones at the Congress rally, which was against the new job policy of the Mufti government. Independent MLA Engineer Rashid has also led a protest today against the move for the rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits. There are several protests going on in Srinagar. This is not the kind of welcome that Mufti Mohammad Sayeed would have wanted. Several protests over the job policy of the government, and an independent MLA, Engineer Rashid, also carrying out a protest against the rehabilitation policy that has yet not been firmed up by the government. But Engineer Rashid seems to be protesting against the comeback of Kashmiri Pandits. In fact, there are other protests being carried out by the Congress party as well. But this is with regards to the job and employment in the state and the policy of the government towards it. But the cause of concern at this point is that all these protests together seem to be taking a violent turn. There are reports of stone pelting now that have come from Srinagar, and the police and security forces are trying to restrain the youth who could be turning violent. Let me go across now to Shuja Ul-Haq, who's getting us the latest from Srinagar. Shuja, could you bring us up to speed with the situation at the moment in Srinagar?
Well, that's Maha right. There are a series of protests that have greeted the Mufti Sayeed government on the first day of its functioning in Srinagar Secretariat. Remember, today was the Darbar Move's first day in the summer capital, and there were at least 4 protests that have happened at different places. First one was organized by Congress workers who were protesting against the job policy that has been announced by the government. And then that protest actually went into a clash with locals in Mysuma area who protested and pelted stones against the Congress workers taking a march along through their area. And then there was a protest by the traders community who have been demanding that flood relief and rehabilitation has not happened, in terms of providing some sort of a relief to those who have been affected by the floods that happened in September 2014. There was another protest that was organized by an independent MLA, Engineer Rashid, and his issue was the government's policy on return of Kashmiri Pandits. He has been against the creation of separate colonies. That's what he is demanding clarity from the government and saying that there should be no separate colonies for Kashmiri Pandits. Okay. So in all, there are series of protests that have greeted Mufti Sayeed as the Chief Minister on the first day of its functioning here in Srinagar city.
So Shuja, how is the government reacting to these protests?
Well, government has in fact put in a lot of people on the job. A lot of security personnel can be seen on the streets, particularly in Lal Chowk area. We witnessed a lot of stone pelting, which was later on countered by policemen who actually went ahead dispersing them from those places. Then there were paramilitary force. They lobbed tear gas shells and also went for lathi charging at various places to disperse the mob. So all arrangements are being taken care by the police. But the point has been made. A series of protests been organized by various groups welcoming and greeting Mufti Sayeed on this first day of his government in Srinagar city.
Shuja, there were also reports of stone pelting. Can you help us understand the current situation?
Well, yes, the stone pelting basically organized was actually seen in Mysuma area. This is exactly the area where the stone pelting happened just a few moments back, and it was triggered when Congress workers were trying to pass by this entire stretch, and Mysuma being a sensitive location, there were always apprehension that these kind of stone pelting incidents can happen, and that's exactly what happened. Some people, locals, did not like the fact that Congress workers were walking by and taking out a march, and that is how the entire stone pelting incident was triggered here. It took a lot of effort for the security forces to calm the situation down. In fact, even as we speak, there are certain pockets inside Mysuma where there are clashes still taking place between the two sides. But yes, it was triggered when Congress workers tried to take a rally out on this stretch, and that was objected by the locals around. But it was immediately also followed by another protest that was organized by the traders community, as we were talking about their rehabilitation issues.
All right, Shujaul Haq there reporting from Srinagar on the multiple protests that are going on as Mufti Mohammad Sayeed and the government make their way to the summer capital.